Model 390 is a tax declaration where basically the annual summary of all operations related to the settlement of the value-added tax or VAT is made. Though it's just a record of these operations, it's necessary to present it. Today in Entretramits, we'll show you how to fill out this model step by step online.
Hi, I'm Natalia from Entretamites, and today I'll explain how to fill out Model 390 via the electronic headquarters of the tax agency step by step. Before starting, I want to explain that to access the EHQ, you must enter with the digital certificate. Once you have accessed with the digital certificate, the first screen that will appear is the following. In this, you must enter your tax identification number. Once you have entered it, the program will identify if you are self-employed or if, on the contrary, you are a company or an SME. In that case, it will enable you to enter either the first and last name or the business name. After this, after entering these first data, we are going to click on New Declaration. If you already possess a prior statement, you can click on Load. On the other hand, we click on New Statement if you don't have one yet. Once we have accessed and clicked on New Declaration, this first page will appear. In this first part, we can see that Model 390 consists of 17 pages, but don't worry. We won't have to fill them all. Model 390, as well as all other models of the tax agency, are filled out according to the activity or need of each self-employed person or each SME. Furthermore, we consistently have, throughout the different pages, these buttons that will direct us and provide assistance to us when we are filling out the form. We possess the draft button that at any point after completing the different fields that we create, which apply to us, we can click on draft and it will generate a draft of how the declaration is progressing. This validate button is typically utilized towards the end when we are fully confident that we have completed filling in all of the required fields. Here, upon clicking on Validate Statement, we will be able to observe these various errors or warnings. Since we are just commencing here, nearly all of them will be visible because we have not filled in almost all of the required information yet. In addition, we have a Delete Statement button here. Here we have another one to save. It means that it saves what we are doing on the 17 pages, so we can click on Save. And once we save, we can exit, disconnect, and come back hours later or the next day to continue our statement. The button here is to click on Signature and Send when we are completely sure. And here we have a very important help button that will serve us at all times when we have any additional questions. In the Sections button, when we click on it, it will display all the various sections that the Model 390 possesses. And if we click on any of the options, it will take us directly to that section in order to fill out the necessary information. On the first page, we will find the accrual. This debit refers to the fiscal year or the period for which the information will be presented and to which the declaration belongs. In this particular case, well, the year 2020 is mentioned, considering that we are producing this video in the year 2021. But this statement, Model 390, must be submitted in January 2022, with all the corresponding info for the year 2021. On the subsequent page, by clicking on this arrow, box number 3 will become visible, indicating the statistical data related to the displayed information. This must be filled in with the economic activity with which the declaration will be presented. That is, the economic activity that your company or you as a self-employed person exercise. To select your economic activity, you must click on the following icon displayed on the screen. Once we click on that, this new screen will be displayed where we need to choose the economic activity of our company. In this particular case, additionally, if it is a professional activity, we click here in order to view all professional activities. Additionally, there is the matter of artistic activities, landlords in the real estate sector, agricultural activities, and as per your selection, the list is automatically updated at the bottom of the page. In our case, it's a business activity, so we'll select the one that corresponds to us. When we click here at the bottom, it takes us directly to the heading. Then we select the group and then the subgroup in this part below. In this case, it is, and we click on Accept. Once we have our main activity selected, if we also have another secondary activity for which we are going to present a model and also affects VAT, then we will select our secondary activity here. In case we don't find it, we will click on the Next button. On page 3, it refers to the data of the representative. This should only be filled out if you are acting through a representative. Otherwise, you leave it blank. On page 4 of Form 390, we have the accrued VAT. That is the VAT you charge your customers when you sell or provide a service through the sales invoice document. In this, we have operations under the ordinary regime, intra-community acquisitions of goods, intra-community services, among others, to which we must pay full attention. After identifying and classifying the values, we proceed to register the taxable base based on the percentage of VAT applied in each invoice as part of the classification process. The program will apply the percentage automatically. Remember that the operations stated on pages 4, 5, and 6 of Form 390 are the same operations as Form 303, which are presented quarterly during the fiscal year to the tax agency. To comply, fill in pages 7, 8, and 9 of Form 390 if operations are under the simplified regime. This regime is a method of settling tax based on indexes or modules applied to elements in the economic activity. It simplifies tax calculation and liquidation, ensuring compliance with regulations. Page 7. Here we have number 8, which is the topic of continuity. We are still in the simplified regime, but for agri-activities. On page 9, we have the simplified regime concerning the VAT of accrued and deductible VAT, including the total amount of VAT. Pages 10 and 11 are exclusive for settlement results, but they'll only be filled automatically if information has been entered in previous sections. That is, let's consider the example on page 10. In section 7, the information is only clear for passive subjects who solely pay taxes in the common territory. Here you can see the automatically generated result. On page 12 of Form 390, the total amount will be filled in, excluding the VAT itself, and if applicable, the equivalent surcharge for the supply of goods and provision of services made by the taxable person during the calendar year under the general VAT regime. There are different boxes that we must fill in and complete if it is our case. On page 13, specific operations, the total amount of the operations that are listed will be recorded regardless of whether they have already been included in previous sections. To understand the details or meanings of each box on these two pages, specifically page 12 and page 13, you can utilize the guide provided by the tax agency by clicking on the provided link here. On page 14, we will locate the programs. This section will be finalized solely by those taxpayers who utilize the Prorrata rule for conducting operations with the entitlement to deduction or without the entitlement to deduction simultaneously, or for obtaining subsidies. In order to enable these commands, we must first select the type of CNA or the type of economic activity in which we are going to have the Prorrata calculation. Let's remember that when we use Prorrata, we can choose more than one economic activity. As an illustration like this, and automatically we have the capability to register and we have the capability to fill in this box to enter the amount of deductible operations. Finally, on pages 15, 16, and 17, reference is made to activities with differentiated deduction regimes. In this, the deductible VAT is broken down in each operation, considering that in this section it is not necessary to detail the operations by tax type. To explore activities with different deduction regimes, refer to Article 101 of the Value Added Tax Law for further information. Once you have finished all the pages and are absolutely certain of your declaration, you can click on the Save button. Then click Save once more, and when you are entirely certain that your statement is accurate, go ahead and click the Validate Statement button to confirm. Here, you will see a list, as I mentioned at the beginning, of possible errors or missing information. If you want to generate a draft to see a preview of how your statement may look, you can click here on Draft. You'll get a PDF, which you can download or print. And here you can see the progress of your model. To go back to the statement, simply click on Return to Statement. In the end, once you are entirely certain, click on Sign and send it to complete the process.
For more information, remember to check our website and follow us on our social media platforms. You'll find the link in the description box below. And if you want to stay ahead of the curve with expert guidance on streamlining your paperwork, be sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned to our channel.